Thank you for watching this short video. My name is Brother Sean. For those who don't know me, I am a member of the Teo community of Interspiritual Franciscans. The title, Did the Pleidans Land on Planet Earth on Saturday the 4th of August 2012 as predicted by the Pleiadian Council? I don't know whether to laugh, cry, scream, shout, dance with joy, or just pray that the ground would open me up. What an introduction, eh? Well, as you know, many on our database received an important message from me that was given to me in love from a very reliable spiritual person whose authenticity is beyond question. I trust their judgment because many of you will know that a lot of scams are going around. And it is so disappointing because the internet is such an important vehicle for communication and information, but a lot of undesirables use it to feather their own nest, to create havoc, and also to do other things which we shan't mention here. But having said that, the message I sent out to our database was quite long and lengthy, but it hit the nail on the head in many places. And to summarize that message, I would say that it did resonate. Did they land on Earth? Well, I was besieged with many phone calls and emails from members of the community, the Teo community, and from friends who received that email, asking me, had I seen them? Had they landed? Where were they? And I said, what do you mean, have they landed? Where are they? I said, have you not seen them? No. And I said to them, well, what have you been doing today? Oh, I've been so busy. I said, well, if you've been so busy, how can you possibly see them? And then they shut up. They go quiet. I said, what a shame. You were privileged to an important message from the Council of Pleidans. You were told, in truth, that on that date, many Pleiadians would come to Earth to support those of us who are struggling because of entity attack and negative energy. And another phone call I had was, well, I'd been waiting for a spaceship to land in the Olympic Games at London. And I said, what? You were waiting to see a spacecraft? And I thought, why were you expecting to see a spacecraft? Well, I imagined that that's how they would come. Well, what does that say to you? Well, it made me feel angry, despondent, confused for the persons who have those expectations because they achieve nothing. Did they land? Of course they landed. Did we see them? Yes, we did. Because the weather here in the ancient Celtic kingdom of Reged was an experience. I would call it an epiphany moment. Why do I say that? Well, we've had a lot of bad weather recently, but Saturday morning it was beautiful. And then all of a sudden, around midday, it was like as if it was nighttime. And there were piercing white clouds in the shape of figures. And the space in between them, there was the most beautiful rainbow of light, like an archway for the company of heaven, welcoming our brothers and sisters from Pleidans. And then all of a sudden it had gone. Bright daylight. But throughout that day, we had electrical storms that I've seen nothing like. Parts of the northwest of the United Kingdom, they had golf balls, hailstones, turbulent weather. Many people felt on edge who weren't privileged to that email of that message. People would say to me, something strange is happening. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, I'm not really into all of this, but I'm very simple. And they were aware, but yet light bringers of peace and light workers who say they believe in the light were caught with their trousers down, forgive the pun, because they'd expectations. And you know what's so interesting? I'd been seeing Pleiadians all my life and never knew. Until 8 years ago, I was so privileged to have one of the students, a light worker, a therapist, who was guided by the Pleidans to come and be trained with the Magdalena energy, to embrace Christ consciousness and the divine feminine energies. And I walked with that person in faith for 6 months, offering them one-to-one tuition. And I knew something was different. The personality was different. They were exceptionally polite, hospitable, charitable. But the thing that really drew me was the eyes. The eyes. And I prayed, I reflected, and I asked God for guidance, because I knew, you know when you get an inner knowing and you can't put your finger on the button. Well, it was one of those déjà vu moments. And then it came, look at the eyes, and then you will know. Well, hello. Those eyes are so piercing. And they don't have to speak using vocal language. The eyes do it for you. They draw you in. And they empower you, be still. And since then, I've met many, many people in passing, as you have. We all have. But the sad thing today is that people have expectations of seeing a certain spacecraft, seeing something like E.T. walking down and going, E.T. home from Pleiades. No, they are among us. There are beings of light coming to us from other galaxies to support us. Now you may think, oh, Brother Sean, you've lost it. I lost it a long time ago, when I began to take my power back and speak my truth from love. But what does it matter whether I have seen them or not? That's not really the issue. The issue is, have you seen them? Of course you have. When did you see them? Can you remember meeting someone in your travels? You appear perplexed and someone will come up and say, are you okay? And there's a gentleness and a softness in that interaction. And there's something familial about that person and the contact. And momentarily, in the blink of an eye, you turn, they've gone. No trace of them. Who do you think that was? If you wish to connect with beings of light, and I'm not talking here about spiritualism, talking with Great Aunt Sally or Maggie who's crossed over, they're third dimensional energy. I'm talking of beings of light in sixth and seventh dimensional energy, the purest energy. To see them, to connect with them, to listen to their message. When is it the last time you sat down and broke off all diplomatic relations with your mouse? When did you allow your heart hear, feel, sense, touch the divine? Don't you think it's time for you to make time in your busy life to be still in the presence of the Supreme and to allow your heart breathe and feel and sense that spiritual epiphany moment that we so need today, where so many are wanting you to fix it for them? Yes, to fix it, to tell them exactly who they are, what they look like, when they came, and what was the message, because that does not involve any work on their behalf. And that's why so many today are looping. We call it looping in counselling. They just go round full circle. They don't learn. It's a repetitive mistake pattern. Switch off now to the mind. Engage with your heart. Light a candle. Be still. Ask the company of heaven. Use the gift of free will to communicate. And then email me and tell me that you too have had an epiphany moment. And not only have you heard them, but you have seen them. Namaste.